Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday afternoon. A little bit warm today, but definitely can deal with it. Actually, here working on Donatello, putting the new mounts in. But I figured I'd jump on real quick and show everybody something real quick before I install these mounts. That way everybody has a better understanding and a clearer understanding about some of these mounts and stuff. I made a previous video about engine mounts and how I reinforce them and everything, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into a little bit of that too, but I want to just basically get on here and show everybody these AWR mounts versus the factory mounts. So here we go. Okay, so this mount here is actually this is a transmission crossmember mount, which goes in the front near the radiator support, and this is the one that goes in the back near like the firewall and stuff like that. The most difficult is one to get to try to swap out. Yeah, so this is the pain in the butt boy here. So basically what I wanted to do is just wanted to show you guys, like, you know, how the AWR mounts are, you know, how they're made, stuff like that, and how thick the brackets are, and just the overall mount seems like it's very, very solid. And the rubber and everything, the collar, all that stuff seems really great great quality. I know a lot of guys use these and swear by them. This is my first set, so you know, I'm going to of course be I'm sure I will not be disappointed at all. But just the construction of these mounts is just it's just awesome, man. They did a wonderful job on this. This is great. The quality of work here is definitely A1, 100%. And like I said, I know a lot of guys swear by these and use these mounts and have had good results. And I'm sure I will too, especially for what I'm doing with these mounts, drag racing. So yeah, man. So those are basically the AWR mounts, and you know, they're, of course, these two mounts here are going to be replacing this bad boy and this bad boy. Now, so I'll get into a little bit of this. So, of course, as you can see, these mounts, you know, the only thing that's really supporting this rubber is here and here. That's about it. I mean, but it's a factory mount. You know, these cars, you know, they build these mounts for daily driving. You know, they don't build these mounts for like drag racing, circle track racing, time attacks and shit like that. So these mounts are basically made to drive every day, you know, and they're not made to be driven hard, drag raced, you know, making anywhere from 3 to 700 horsepower or even 1,000. They're just definitely not designed for that. So basically what I wanted to show you guys is, check it out. So this is the factory mount, right? So, you know, what will happen is these things will begin to crack right in here and all around this area. They'll begin to crack, you know, and I believe this one's split. Yeah, see right there? So they'll start dry rotting and they'll crack, and that's what they'll look like. And then over time, I keep driving it, it just gets worse. It just gets worse and worse. And then, of course, the mount just becomes, it's no good at this point, but it just gets worse and worse as you continue to drive it that way. And then what takes all the pressure is this one here. So this mount here is the cross member mount, the transmission cross member mount that's actually close to the firewall in the very back. And this bad boy takes one hell of a beating. And, you know, as you can see, it's the smallest mount out of the whole entire, you know, set of mounts. This is the smallest one, and this one takes the most abuse. It takes the most pressure. And as you can see, this one is just completely blown out. I mean, it's done. But you see there, if you look there and see, that's all you got holding this thing. That's all you got supporting it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So if you lose any of your mounts on the top, like your top transmission mount, your front mount that actually mounts right there by the passenger side fender, or the mount that goes, this mount here actually that goes down in the front of the cross member close to the radiator support, yeah, this mount's done. I mean, you can see now this one too, This is one I pulled out of a junkyard. I pulled a transmission out of a junkyard, and look, this thing is, look at that. This thing is just blown. It's nothing there. It's done. It's gone. Just nothing left of it, you know. And you know what I'm saying, there's nothing really holding. You only got, that's the only thing holding the center collar of the mount, and this right here. That's it. That's all you got. And it's very, very, even when you buy even if you buy a new one of these, it's very, very flimsy still, you know what I'm saying, when you get them brand new. They're really, really flimsy at that point. So you can only imagine how much flexing it's doing when you got it in the car. I mean, shit, even daily driving, you know what I'm saying, like these are going to be questionable, you know what I mean? So if this rear mount was made a little more like this, I guess, with a little more rubber in there, then it probably would have been a little better. But I mean, like I said, these factory mounts are just not really made to, you know, they're not really made for driving hard, you know. Even in a stock application, man, eventually they will go bad. So that's where these come into play, you know what I'm saying? Like these mounts here, they cost a lot, but the thing about it is these mounts here will last you years and years and years, you know, upon driving, whether you're driving hard, driving soft. I mean, these mounts will last you a whole lot longer. These mounts will last a whole lot longer than these mounts will think about lasting. Now, another thing I wanted to show you. So look at the bracket. See how the bracket is on the factory mount? And look at the AWRs. See how much thicker? See how much more metal is there on that bracket? See how much thicker this bracket is than that bracket? You know, so you know these mounts are absolutely set up for some abuse. That's for sure. Even here, you know what I mean? Like if you look at that, and then you look at that, like look at that. That's one hell of a difference there. I mean, you can't, you know, you looking at these two, you're like, yeah, the AWRs are definitely built, you know, they're definitely built to take a whole lot of abuse, and they're built really, really strong, which is nice. And I'm just so glad that they offer these for this car, for the Escorts. So, you know, the Escort GT 91 through 97, no, I'm sorry, 91 through 96, the Escort GT second generation. Also, these mounts will also fit in LX. These mounts will fit in LX as well, 91 through 96. It's the same cross member and it's pretty much the same mounts. So it's you know, stuff is pretty much the same. So yeah, they will work. They will work on a 96, 91. I'm sorry, they will work on an Escort LX 91 through 96. So I'll give you guys a rundown real quick. So these mounts are compatible with a 90 to 94 Mazda 323 hatchback, which is a BG chassis. The 90 to 94 Mazda Protege LX, which is a BG chassis, and 91 through 96 Ford Escort GT, which is also a BG chassis. So those three cars, these mounts will work in, and I believe also the 95 to 97 Kia Sophia with the 1.8 BP will also accept these mounts. Now on the 95 to 97, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if it carries the same style cross member as the BG from the Escort and the Mazda Protege. I have to look more into that. So don't quote me on the 95 to 96. I'm assuming that they will work because it's the same engine, same transmission pretty much, and a lot of people do the Kia Sophia transmission swap. A lot of guys do the Kia Sophia engine swap too. So you know, I could very well be right about the cross member on the 95 through 97 Kia Sophia, and I could be wrong on the 95 97 Kia Sophia. So don't quote me on it. So I will do more research on that to find out. I'm sure there's some people in the Escort enthusiast group that can vouch for that. I know my buddy Manuel can surely vouch for that, along with along with a few more people that can also vouch for that cross member and engine mount question for the 95 through 97 Kia Sophia. But I know for sure the 90 through 94 323 hatch, the 90 through 94 Mazda Protege LX, and the Escort GT and LX from 91 through 96. These mounts will work. All right, so moving right along. So yeah, so I just wanted to basically get on and show you guys, you know, the AWR mounts versus your stock mounts. And again, this mount is famous for going out. This is the first one that always fails. And you know, if you feel, like I say, I think I've mentioned this in my previous video about this mount. So if you feel like, you know, when you give it acceleration and you feel a vibration and then you get off the gas and it goes away, 9 times out of 10, that mount is this mount is done. This mount is actually going bad on Slushbox, which is Jasmine's Escort GT, the automatic. This rear mount is actually starting to go bad too. I can tell, I can feel it. It's starting to vibrate a little bit and drive. But yeah, man. I mean, these mounts are, you know, these mounts. It doesn't take much to knock one of these mounts out. That's for sure. I mean, as you can see, this came out of the junkyard off a transmission, and this is how I found it. So yeah, man. So that's basically what you have there. You got your factories versus your aftermarket AWRs. So, like I said, the AWRs are just built a hell of a lot nicer. They use a lot thicker brackets, nice powder coat finish, you know, and very, very nice urethane bushings, you know, with the nice collars and stuff, and you know, lock nuts, washers, all that stuff. All right, so I wanted to show you guys something. So I got the rear mount out of Donatello, and that's what I found. So I reinforced this mount. I reinforced this mount right here about 3 years ago, maybe 4. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And of course, this was the same exact mount when I rebuilt the engine back in 2021 and had it tuned and all. This was the same exact mount I used. So when I pulled it out today, because I noticed that, you know, my car was having a real bad vibration under acceleration, but when I get off the gas, it smoothed back out. Well, this is what I found. So this mount this collar had pretty much just wore a hole. It like basically just gouged the steel that I used. Now mind you, the steel I used wasn't very thick. It was probably like maybe a 16th to an 18th. No, I say it was probably 1/8 inch thick. Maybe 1/8 inch. It might have been 16th of an inch thick. I can't exactly remember. It's been a while. Looking at it, that's probably it might be a tad under 1/8 inch. It might be 16th. It's just hard to tell. I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, this is what I found when I pulled the mount out, and I seen that, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. So yeah, I found that, and I'm like, yeah, this mount is smoked, 100% smoked. But yeah, as you can see, it just rode the steel so hard. It just rode the metal so hard on this collar. It just opened it up, and to see right there, it actually split it. So that tells me right there, of course, that the other mounts that I had in the car were shot as well. You know, like this mount. Actually, I believe the front crossmember mount on Donatello was welded, and I think I got that one from Manuel. And that one actually had a plate that ran across from here to here, and it was all welded solid. So that one lived. That one actually survived. This one did not. And then of course the upper transmission mount, it had cracks in it. It was split. You know, that one was split, and then the one over the front mount, over by the timing cover, that one was split. So those two mounts were shot. The only good mount you really had was the lower front cross member. So this one took a heck of a beating, you know, because of that. So good thing I'm changing these out. I'm changing all 4 out. So I only got these 2 from AWR, which is going to be the lower cross member, which is like the most important. because these mounts right here is what withstands the engine torque when the engine's torquing up and pulling, and when it's torquing forwards and backwards. These two mounts right here is what takes that pressure. So the ones on the top don't take as much pressure unless you got a mount that's out of place, bad, or just severely tore up. These mounts right here are your lower crossmember mounts, transmission crossmember mounts, and these mounts are these two mounts right here is what takes the engine torquing forward and backwards. So those are your most important. So I have some brand new factory replacements that I'm going to put on the upper transmission mount and on the front mount over by the timing cover. I'm going to replace those with just regular stock mounts until I can see if I can get the other two from AWR for the front and the upper transmission mount. But for right now, I'm just going to use these. I'm sure that'll be a whole lot better than what I had going on, as you can see there. I mean, got to be way better than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah, that mount is shot. As you can see, it held up because I welded the plate on the outsides here and here back 4 or 5 years ago. It just wore that metal right on down. It just wasn't enough to hold it. Which, hey, you live, you learn, you fabricate, stuff like that happens, and then that's how you learn, man. That's how you learn to do stuff. And I'll be honest, man, I was like, man, I don't need no AWR mounts, man. I can reinforce my own stuff. I don't need no AWR mounts. Rephrase that. What was you saying? That's basically what that was like. So yeah, you said you didn't need no AWR mounts. According to that, yeah, you did. 100%. So cool, man. I just want to get on and share this with everybody real quick. Yeah, that's like I said, that's one of Donatello's mounts, and yeah, that's bad. But yeah, man, just want to get on and share, some motor engine mount knowledge on AWR and the stock factory mounts, whether they are on the lower, whether they're on the transmission cross member, or the one by the timing cover, or the one over the upper mount by the upper transmission mount that's underneath the battery tray. Yeah, just wanted to give you guys some little knowledge on those mounts. So also, while I got y'all here, so these mounts have 4 different durometers. What that means is these mounts come, this urethane rubber comes in 4 different, it comes in 4 different levels. It comes in 4 different durometer options. So you have 4 to choose from. You got a 62, a 70, a 88, and a 95. And I wrote it down so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. So I wrote down AWR mount durometer options. You got 62, 70, 88, 95. And those are all durometer. We got ultra soft, soft, medium, and hard. So 62 durometer is going to be ultra soft, 70 is going to be soft, 88 is going to be medium, and then 95 is going to be hard. So basically what durometer stands for is, it stands for the hardness, how hard this urethane is. So durometer is basically hardness. So these right here are 88 durometer. That's what I went with. I really didn't want to go with the 95 because the 95 durometer is hard. That's a very hard urethane, and that's a whole lot of vibration. I know I've heard a lot of people complain and say, "Oh man, the AWR mounts suck because they vibrate your teeth out." Well, that's 9 times out of 10. That's probably because that person got the wrong durometer urethane. You got to get the correct durometer urethane for your mount application. You can't just be street driving around just kind of cruising and really ain't got a whole lot of mods done and go with a 95 durometer and wonder why the thing is shaking your teeth out. Like, no, you don't want to do that. So the best thing I recommend to you to do is call. I got my mounts through Fab 9. I'm sure you can contact AWR as well. But I always go through Fab 9. I talk to Brian at Fab 9. Brian at Fab 9 is a really good guy. Customer service is just A1. Awesome person, man. Really down to earth. I've had a few conversations with him. You know, love the guy to death. He's been helping me out since 2021. And you know, I really do appreciate all the help he has given me throughout my builds and stuff like that, man. This guy's awesome. So yeah, what I would do is just contact Brian at Fab 9 and you know, let him know that, hey man, I'm looking into some AWR mounts. I have a 91 through 96 Ford Escort, which is the same chassis as the 90 through 94 Mazda Protege LX, and I'd like to get me some you know, I'd like to get me some AWR mounts. And he's probably going to ask you what durameter that you want. He's going to say, hey man, what's the durameter you're going to want? You know, and he's going to give you the options. And my best advice to everybody is just tell him, say, look man, I just ride the car around, cruise on the street, you know, stuff like that. I don't really have a lot done to it. And he's going to probably tell you you're going to need to choose between 62 and 70. Because you got ultra soft and soft. So he's probably gonna say, hey man, you're probably gonna want like a 62 to 70. You know, we got ultra soft and we got soft on those durameters. Then, you know, if you say, well yeah man, I got some mods done, you know, running a turbo or nitrous or supercharger or some, you know, I got ITBs on an all motor setup, you know, I got this type of clutch, you know, yada yada yada, you know, blase blase. Yeah, I'm running like a stage 3, stage 4 clutch. You know, what durameter should I go with? And 9 times out of 10, he'll probably come and say, well, if you're running, you know, those kind of mods, you might want to go with a 88 through 95. Because you got hard for 95 and you got medium for 88. So the 88 is going to be more street / track. 95 is going to be like more track. You can run 95s in the street, but they're just going to shake your teeth out. And trust me, I've had solid mounts before in a car. They suck. They 100% suck. I can tell you from experience, they suck. Don't do it. Do not do it. I'm telling you now, I'm warning you. If I see anybody on the FEOA page and say, I bought these AWR mounts, man, and they suck because they vibrate really, really bad, and I'm going to ask you what the durameter is. If you tell me you don't know or you can't remember, or if you say, I got 95, I'm going to tell you, I had this conversation on my YouTube channel, and obviously you didn't pay attention. So go back and review it again. So yeah, guys. So yeah, just make sure you choose the correct durameter rubber for your application. Don't just buy anything, you know. And a lot of people get twisted up in that. They just say, I want some AWR mounts, and that's all they know. They just want AWR mounts. But you got to know detail. You got to know how hard you want these things, because you could tell them, oh yeah, man, give me 95. Give me the 95 ones. I want those to be hard. But then you're just regularly driving. Now you got a stoplight and that thing island, or if you got, you know, cams or anything in it, man, that thing's shaking your teeth to death. Shaking you to death for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't got to go that hard, don't go that hard. 62 and 70 durameter is good for street driving. You know, maybe a little bit of playing in the street with some very, very light to some very, very light, moderate to no modifications at all. 62 to 70 durameter is what you want. Turbo, nitrous, supercharger, you know, some awesome naturally aspirated mods, cams, like high compression pistons, a clutch, a header, exhaust, stuff like that, man. 88 to 95 is what you want. Because sometimes, you know, depending on how you drive the car, 62, 70 might be too soft for you. You know what I'm saying? You might need a 88 or 95. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, man, just contact Brian at Fab9, and he will be able to 100% help you out with the mount choice. If you guys are not sure and you're confused, you can't get a hold of Brian, you know, you can contact me. I'll try to help. I'll try to walk you through selecting the right mounts. You know, just let me know what kind of mods you got. Don't leave nothing out. Just tell me exactly what you got done to the car, what you got going on. That way I can be like, well, man, you might want to go with like an 88, or you might want to go with a 95, or you might want to go with a 70, or you might want to go with a 62. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on what you got going on. So again, here's the list. 62, ultra soft, 70, soft, 88, medium, 95, hard. So just remember, 95 is hard, and get your mind out the gutter, people. So yeah, man. So that's basically it. I just wanted to show everybody and tell everybody about these mounts and everything, and give everybody some knowledge, on these mounts, and how the factory mounts react to certain things, and of course, what they should be replaced with. Regular OEM mounts are not going to cut it, especially if you got any kind of modifications or anything like that. They just ain't going to cut it. I mean, you can see these things are tore up. They're tore up, and they've seen better days. So, but yeah, man. So basically, just want to get on and share this with everyone. And hopefully, this YouTube video has been very helpful, very knowledgeable, and very detailed. So hopefully, you guys, that need these type of mounts will be grabbing these bad boys, and hopefully these will be some use to you. So cool, man. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I'm on 4 sources of social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to inbox me. A lot of people have been inboxing me on a lot of stuff. So yeah, man. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to hit me up. If you need my phone number, hey, I'm more than happy to give that up too if you guys need me. So I don't mind talking to anybody. I help out a lot of people. A lot of people inbox me, and I don't have a problem helping out nobody. If I don't have the answer, I can get it for you. I can find it for you. So feel free to reach out. If you're not sure, let me know. The only stupid questions are the ones that are not asked. So remember that. You always want to try to get the knowledge, do the research, ask people before you go to make a decision, because it might be a decision you're not sure, and then you get these mounts, and like I said, it's going to be it'll be the wrong durameter on the rubber, and then you're like, oh great, now I got to send these back, or they got to send me some different inserts. You know what I'm saying? So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and like I said, if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to contact me on any sources of my social media: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And if you need my number to call me to, so I can help you guys, walk you through something, or if you're confused about something, don't hesitate to contact me. Like I said, the only dumb questions are the ones that you don't ask. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday. I'm going to get back on Donatello so I can finish him up. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.